So Pierre Poilievre just dropped something on X a little while ago. Change alert. Conservatives will save your family $400 a year by axing the food packaging tax, reversing the Liberal ban on plastic wrapping and containers. We'll stop the plastic containers and wrapping ban that wastes food, limits choice, and hikes grocery costs. Vote for change. So let's see what he has to say, and then we'll talk about it after like usual. Oh, sorry about that.
You know it and I know it. Canadians are living through a cost of living crisis. We feel it every time we go to the grocery store. But after a lost Liberal decade, families are going to spend $800 more on food this year than they did last year. Things have gotten so bad that food banks across Canada had to handle a record 2 million visits in a single month last year. In Montreal, 44% of CEGEP students suffer from food insecurity. Food prices are still skyrocketing upwards too, surging by 3.2% over the last year. And in the last month alone, food inflation increased by nearly 2%, the largest monthly jump in decades. And in Canada, we have food insecurity emergencies that have been declared in towns and cities across the country. After 3 Liberal terms that have increased taxes, inflated prices, and drove your wages down. This is life in Canada after a lost Liberal decade. But Mark Carney, he isn't listening.
Who's ready to stand up for me? Help me.
He plans to make your life even more expensive in a 4th Liberal term. Mark Carney's Liberals have already banned the plastics that Canadians use every single day. Everything from plastic straws to grocery bags. This plastic ban will cost Canadians $1.3 billion over the next decade. And these costs are going to be passed down directly to you. But now Mark Carney, he wants to expand this plastics ban to food packaging, which will be a disaster for Canadians who already face sky-high grocery bills. Think about everything you buy at the grocery store that comes packaged in plastic. Meat, vegetables, fish. It will all become more expensive, and it will go bad faster too, meaning more trips to the grocery store, wasting your time as well as your money.
Yeah, that's why they use that kind of wrapping and packaging, because it's cheaper. I don't know what they're going to use otherwise, but again, it's just going to make prices go up even more. And it's not just like, well, hey, there was a one-time hike because we got to save the environment. No, it's just non-stop going up and up and up. It's ridiculous.
At the end of the day, replacing plastic packaging will cost the average Canadian household an additional $400 every year, result in 500,000 tons in food waste, limit access to imported fruit and produce, and drive up food inflation again. According to the Chemistry Industry Association of Canada, Mark Carney's plastics ban will also cost Canada up to 60,000 good-paying jobs. When we're under attack from Donald Trump's tariffs, the last thing we need is a Liberal attack on those exact same industries.
Is it Liberal? Maybe, but you know, a Conservative until I got involved. Because I don't care who wins up there. I frankly probably would do better with the Liberal than the Conservative, if you want to know the truth. But
and there's an endorsement. People say it's not, and it's funny. When I say, and I've said it in the past, I'll say it again, that I want Pierre Poilievre to win, that's an endorsement. Okay? All right, Liberals? It's, you know, it's funny. The more I've insulted Liberals on this channel, which I thoroughly enjoy doing, the more they're commenting. I see you, Bob. And a couple others, I can't remember your name, but I'm sure we'll get to know each other real well over the next little while.
New Conservative government will put Canadians first for a change. We will scrap the Liberal plastic ban and stop Mark Carney from expanding it to food packaging. We will lower prices at the grocery store so your paycheck goes farther, and we will repeal the Liberal plastics ban, including the ban on plastic straws, checkout bags, food containers, and cutlery, letting consumers and businesses choose what works for them. And we will eliminate new labeling and packaging red tape that will raise the cost of fresh produce by 34%. Conservatives will protect restaurants, grocers, and Canadian families from one-size-fits-all packaging rules that hurts everyone, but especially those who can least afford it. Canadians cannot afford another Liberal term of punishing taxes and these ideological crusades that make everything more expensive.
We need to use effectively a shadow carbon price, meaning that you map into a representative carbon price the impact of, for example, an emissions regulation.
It's time for a Conservative government that will put hardworking Canadians first for a change.
I agree. And you see there, well, yeah, let's just call him Carbon Tax Carney. He didn't cancel it. He paused it temporarily because he can't cancel it. As you know, government's been prorogued, and anything that's passed into law or passed as a bill has to be voted out. Government's prorogued. Can't be voted out, so we didn't cancel the carbon tax. It's a nice little trick that only liberals are falling for. Well, what don't they fall for? Let's be honest here. But you hear him just talk about the carbon tax. We need a shadow carbon tax. He's going to bring it back. He's going to try to hide it, and he's not going to give a rebate. And everything is going to get more and more expensive. And Canadians, some of us, don't see it happening. Or that they don't see it coming, rather. But it's happening. And, you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to convince anyone who's going to vote Liberal not to. But if you're seeing this and you're undecided, and you care about the future of your children or grandchildren, you're going to vote for Pierre Poilievre. If you don't care, then you're going to vote for Mark Carney because you're scared of the mean old orange man. Imagine being so scared of an old man who paints his face orange that you're going to vote to destroy your own country and the future of your kids and grandchildren. I mean, if that's all it takes for them to vote Liberal, then there's no convincing them, right? But let's be honest. There's also lots of people we can convince. There's also a lot of people, based off of what we've seen at Pierre's rally, young people, young men specifically, which is the lowest demographic of voter. It's the lowest demographic of voters out of all the voting classes. So, you know, older women vote the most, and young men vote the least. I really butchered that word there, but either way, we got to get young men to vote. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about this ad? Also, let me know if you're going to be joining me on April 28th, as I will be live streaming on camera for the election. And so hopefully some of you will, hopefully all of you will join me. But either way, let me know what you think in the comment section. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps grow the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.